Ladies, sometimes exposure, when we hear the word exposure, it's always in a negative light. A lot of times I say, I'm going to expose you, or exposing the truth. And not every time exposure is a bad thing. And I was thinking about this because I took one of my clients to the not the salon, but I took her to where where hairstylists, licensed cosmetologists purchase their products. We have Salon Centric, and don't make me think of the rest. I don't know why I go blank sometimes. And I took her in the store and I was showing her like the difference in the products that you guys may get when you go to a Walmart or even Sally's. A lot of the things that they have is more watered down. They don't have the actual, not saying they don't have the ingredients, but it's just more watered down. It's not something that would be as concentrated as the products that they have in the beauty supply store. And so I was showing her, the perfect, all the ingredients and what we look for when we're looking at when I'm determining someone's hair, why I would put this in someone that has thin hair, all these different things. So we're just having this discussion. I just want to make a quick video about this. And I was telling her, I said, exposure is good. I remember there was a time when two things happened to me. I went to China way many years ago, 2006. I went to China, and that was a big thing. I'm like, I don't want to go to China. I'm born and raised in Miami, Florida. My parents never traveled anywhere. My dad, I think, well, my stepdad, he went to like family reunions, but like a lot of people in Miami, depending on the year that they were born, they don't leave Miami. They don't even go to Broward County. They stay right here in Dade County. And so I kind of had that mindset, but I had my ex who was exposed me to things, and he was like, "We're going to China, is a free trip." And I'm like, "What?" And we went to China for not 2 years, 2 weeks. And I remember my mom was like, "Oh, you going over there? You eating horse meat?" And my mom was like, she just had her little beliefs. They're gonna take your birth certificate. You ain't gonna be able to get back in the country. And I was scared because I let her put those things in my head. But then when I went, it was the experience of a lifetime. No, I did not like their food. Their food is the Chinese food we eat here is not the Chinese food that they eat there. They actually eat white rice with specks of peppers and onions in it. They don't have brown rice. FDA changed it for them to do Chinese rice over here. That's why you have the soy sauce and whatever. But over there, they don't. But anyway, that's not the point. The point that I'm making was that I went over and I actually liked it. I was like, okay, I like exposure. Now, one of the things I did learn is that although I love going out of the country and seeing a lot of things, I think that here in the US, we have a lot of beautiful places to explore right here and travel. So I actually, even though I'll still travel out of the country, I actually prefer just traveling around the US. And so that's just my thing or whatever. But that's the exposure that you get. Then the second thing was when I went to LaBelle Beauty Academy, and I went, and my ex again, he was like, "This is the perfect school for you because they are highly, they're pivot point trained." It was like all these different things that you get that you're not going to get at a typical just black school. You know what I mean? And I know it sounds crazy, but I was like, okay. He said, you get more exposure, you'll have more experience because you won't just be doing your hair, you'll be doing everybody else's hair. And y'all, when I got there, they did not treat me kindly. So I really was like bucking. Like the first month, I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. And then finally, when I started learning these different things, how to clipper cut, and then it started putting my imagination to things, because I always wanted to be a great hair cutter. Like that was a big deal to me. But then when I found out about color and dimension and all these different things, I was like a kid in a candy store, and I found my purpose at that time. And so a lot of you need exposure, but exposure to the right things. I think that if you had the exposure when it comes to taking care of your hair and really understanding your natural beauty and all the things that it brings to you, I think that you wouldn't mind the exposure. This is exposure. Ask the licensed cosmetologist. This channel is an exposure. It opens your minds and make you start understanding like there's nothing wrong with doing, y'all always hear me say weaves and extensions. It's the bad practice that comes behind it, right? And so I wanted to tell this quick thing because when I took her, she was always going to, you know, it just so happened she needed a color done. So I was like, okay, let's go here because I was going to do her color. And I'm just showing her things. She said, oh, I never saw this. Oh, you know, she was like a kid in a candy store. And then she started doing the things that I was telling her. I didn't even think about it, but I paid attention. She started looking. She was like, look what the ingredients say. What does this say? You know, oh, this is good for my hair. Oh, and then it gave her the exposure that she needed. She's like, you know, it's not too hard to do my hair. It's not. If you do a regimen and you do that every week, you wash your hair every week, and you do these steps, your hair's going to be healthy and soft. You could braid that thing up and put whatever wig you want on it, but you just got to take care of your hair. And these are the products that I use. Now, will I always do that to my clients? No, to be honest, I don't even want all these clients, y'all. I really prefer doing this. But I realized that a lot of you, the reason why you're very hesitant when it comes to your hair, a lot of you were raised from a kid. When we think about 2026, from a kid, a lot of you young ladies were raised up putting weave in your hair. Your mom was putting braids in your hair. They didn't want to be bothered. And they was putting what they call not relaxers, but they was calling it something else, but they were actually texturizers, right? So a lot of you grew up on that. So you didn't really have the exposure of the healthy side of doing hair or experiencing hair. And then you went to salons where, you know, they're still doing the bad practices. They putting wrapping paper on your head, doing quick weaves, different things like that. And then so a lot of you, because of the bad exposure, when flat irons came out, I remember the young girls was having all of the perimeter of their hair broken off because those were the weaker parts of the hair. And so a lot of you were like experiencing that. You know why? Because you didn't have the education, you didn't have the exposure, you didn't get to go and see other women that get the same service you didn't have to do it as often, didn't use the highest heat, but they did the work and their hair flowed like that for a week and a half to 2 weeks. A lot of you were raised on how long would this hairstyle last versus how long do I need to have this hairstyle where I won't compromise my hair and still have healthy hair. You don't come in and ask those questions. You want to know how long it'll last because you don't want to tend to your hair, right? And so one of the things that helped me too, which I was already like that when it came to hair and beauty, because I live in Miami. Miami is a vein city, all right? Miami lit right now because we got the game going to be starting at 7 p.m. So I'm hairing up, right? But anyway, so I, even in the beauty world, right? My beauty world experience was I was the only Black girl in this world of Hispanics, no Caucasians, just pure Hispanics of different Black Hispanics, white Hispanics, right? And so, but it gave me a head on because Hispanic people, of course, they use the same products as Caucasian or different race, Indian people, different race of people, Asian people. And so because of that, people walked in that door, they were all race of people. So my foundation of all the exposure of good, positive things, I just took that knowledge and I was like, let me pour it into my sisters and show them how they can do their hair, how they can have healthy hair. You can have short hair, have healthy hair. You can wear extensions, have healthy hair. That was a big deal. And then when I got the bigger exposure, when I went to hair club and I had to do the training, and you're under pressure because you're dealing with men. I started out dealing with men, and then I was so good in the cutting and things like that to make the hair look realistic that they put me over to do the women hair, right? So all this exposure, now it gives me the tools to be able to teach you guys, to coach you ladies, right? And now even in my coaching sessions, when I'm showing clients, I'm talking to them and they're telling me about the issues with their hair and stuff, and I'm saying all you need is this, and they see it. The exposure of understanding, it was that simple, it was that easy. Sometimes we make it hard and it's not. So I just wanted to say to you ladies, don't make everything when you hear the word exposure, or when something new is being introduced to you, don't think that that's a bad thing. When I want to do a new cut on my short hair, I don't go to the black short hair. I know. I go to men's cut, Caucasian men cut, or a Hispanic. I go to different race cuts because I like the textures and the layers and stuff like that. Because I was exposed, I know who to go to, right? That trip to China, I was like, I don't know where I'm going, but I went. I was scared, but I got the exposure. So guess what? When an Asian person sat in my chair, I understood their hair. I understood that they not all of them can bleach their hair. Their diameters of their strands are larger, right? So you can't blunt cut. If you blunt cut them, that's why you always see them with them cute bobs, because of the diameter of their hair is so large. But when they want texture and stuff, you have to point cut all through their hair. Otherwise, it will leave a line. So it's different things that exposed to that helps. And what I'm saying to you ladies, exposure, coaching, embracing your hair, whether you want to wear your wigs or not, whether unless you're a person that's dealing with medical issues, you guys need more exposure and understanding that it's not a bad thing. Getting to know, exposing yourself to you, and getting to know yourself inside out, self-love, right? We just talked about that, all those different things. These are the things that will help you grow, believe it or not, and you will understand yourself. You will walk in confidence. You will feel validated because you're validated yourself. You know who you are. You're not looking for other people to give you that validation. You're not feeling insecure. The first video I did, I talked about the fact of how you can be a woman and you don't really like wearing dresses, right? Or you don't like wearing skirts, or you don't like blouse. You just a t-shirt and jean type of girl, right? But because of what people tell you have to do and where, you will do that and you'll live miserable. Start the small things. Start the small things. And so get to learn you. And if that's something that you like to do, okay, if you're at work and you can't wear jeans and a t-shirt, you can wear blouses that are similar, that make you feel comfortable. The fabric of it makes you feel comfortable. And you can wear pants, or you can wear skirts that make you, whatever you want to wear, that more slacks, that kind of puts you in the mind of it, but you can work and you feel comfortable and you're happy, right? Or your favorite color, like the young lady who didn't want to, she wanted red hair, but she got black hair. So she would be more comfortable in the red hair and more happy in the red hair, but she was comfortable with the black hair because of the cut. But if she would have got everything she wanted, she actually would have been extremely happy. So this is something to you guys. Start getting exposure. Start looking, when you go to look for hairstyles, don't just look at black hairstyles and look at black celebrities. Look at the white ones. Look at the Caucasians. Look at the men. If you got short cuts, those are where you find that exposure. You start understanding that we're not really all that different. However, we're majorly different, right? And so for Black women, we can stop following the trend. Everybody wearing lace wig, I'm wearing a lace wig. Find what fits you and enjoy your identity. All right. That's what authenticity looks like. You know, I was watching Sarah Fontenay, and I'm going to end with this. And she was like, you know, you tell people to be authentic. What does that look like? What I just described to you, that's growing into your true authentic self and being happy with yourself. Because when you're happy with yourself, then you can give to the people that you love closest to you that same joy, and they get 100% of you, not just half of you. So I pray that this video helps you. And guess what, guys? I will see you next video. Bye.